Always have a backup because something unexpected can happen at any moment. But if you're prepared, uncertainty becomes much easier to manage. Like, what would happen if your laptop get crashed right now, or your phone got lost? All your files, work projects, photos, memories will be vanished within a few seconds. This is where backups play a crucial role. And with incremental backups, there's no need to save everything repeatedly. We can only save what's changed since the last backup, which makes it fast and efficient. Also, we can schedule them however we like. It can be every hour, daily, weekly, or even once a month. In my previous video, we have seen how to host Duplicati in Docker. Since then, I've been using it as my personal backup tool. And my experience is awesome with it. If you have missed that video, just click on the I button to check it out. In that video, we have already seen how to access the Duplicati web GUI. Today, I'm going to demonstrate how to use that GUI to easily back up Docker volumes and recover them within a few seconds in case something goes wrong. First, I'm going to set up the backup configuration. For that, we will navigate to the Duplicati's landing page. Here, the first thing I can see is this pop-up window. It is prompting us to set a password if the machine has multiple users or continue as a single user. Let's click on Yes to explore the options. Here we can set the password. But for now, I'm going to use it as a single user. So let's click on this Cancel button to skip the step. But you can set it up whenever you want. And with that, we have landed on the Duplicati's homepage. Now, if we closely look at the address bar, it's showing that the connection is not secure. So I will get an SSL certificate for this service using Nginx Proxy Manager. If you want to do the same, click on the I button to check out my detailed video on it. Now I will quickly set this up. Once the SSL is ready, I will simply click on the domain to open it up in browser. Now if we check, it's showing the connection is secure. So let's move on to the backup configuration. To do that, I will click on Add Backup from the left panel. Here, we can either configure a new backup or import an existing one from our file. Since I'm creating a new backup, I will go ahead with the first option and click on Next. Now, we need to provide a few details here. For the name, I will go with Docker_volumes. We can also add a description here, but for now I will leave it blank. Next, we have an option to use encryption for our backup. Let's choose No Encryption to keep things simple. But don't worry, I will definitely try out the encryption features later and share it with you all. Let's click on Next to proceed. Now I will configure the backup destination. Here we have a few options for the storage type. I already have a network share mounted to this VM and bound to this container as a volume. So I will select the option Local Folder or Drive. Then for the folder path, I will choose Backups as I have bound it as my volume. If you're using a different service, you can add the username and password here. We also have some advanced options, but for now, I'm going to keep things simple and proceed. Next, we need to choose the source data. Since I have already mapped the Docker volumes directory to the source, I will just select that folder. Now let's schedule our backup. We can schedule it to run daily, hourly, or even choose specific days or times. By default, it will run once a day. I'm going to change it to run once every hour. Let's move on to the next step. Here, we need to select the remote volume size. 50 megabytes looks pretty good to me. Then I will select the backup retention. Here we have some options. Among them, I will go with Smart Backup. With this, the system will automatically delete older backups over time. But you will always have at least one of them for the last 7 days, 4 weeks, and 12 months. Here, we also have a few advanced options, but I'm going to skip them for now. Once we are all set, I will go ahead and save the changes. And that's it. Our Docker Volumes backup is successfully configured. Now, if we check the network drive, we will notice that it's empty. That's because the backup job was never scheduled, so it never ran before. Also, the next scheduled backup time has not arrived yet. So, we are going to run the job manually by clicking on Run Now. Once the job is completed, it has taken the current backup, and the files are being stored in this network drive. Now let's see how easily we can restore things in Duplicati. First, I'm going to create a scenario that my host machine is completely corrupted. To do that, I will shut down the previous VM. Then I will create a new virtual machine and try to restore all my files there. Now that the VM is ready to use, let's connect it using VS Code Remote SSH. Once I am connected to the VM, I will mount the network drive where my backup files are stored. Next, I will install Docker using my Docker installation script. You will find all these reference video links in the description box below. Now I will start the Duplicati container. Once it is up and running, I will go to my browser and enter the host IP address. And with that, we will be able to access the Duplicati interface. As it is a new instance of Duplicati, the first thing that will appear is this pop-up. Since I'm setting this up for a single user, I will click on this button. Now let's proceed to restore the files. First, I will navigate to the Restore tab. Then I will choose the first option. Here I will select the location of my backup files. As I don't have a passphrase, I will directly click on Connect. Next, I will select the date range and choose the files which I want to bring back. We are almost done with the restore. Here I will just go ahead with original location so that the files are restored exactly where they were before. And for file handling, the override option looks good to me. Make sure to enable this checkbox right here. Otherwise, you might run into some permission issues later. Then I will click on the Restore button. Once it is done, a success message will appear like this. Now let's see if we can redeploy the services using these restored files. First, I'm going to host Nginx Proxy Manager in this new VM. This will reestablish the setup we had earlier. Once the service is up and running, let's check if we can access it. As you can see, we are now able to access Nginx Proxy Manager. But if I try to access it through the domain, it's showing that this site can't be reached. That's because the domain is still pointing to the old IP address. To resolve it, we can either set the previous IP address for this new machine, or update all the service IPs in Nginx Proxy Manager to match the new VM's IP address. In this video, I'm going to update the service IPs. For that, I will head over to the DuckDNS site and update the current IP address to the new VM's IP. This ensures that the domain points to the correct machine. Once that's done, I will update all the service IPs in Nginx Proxy Manager with a new one. Now I will try to access it again through the domain. And this time we are successful. Let's repeat the same steps for Vault Warden. And just like that, it's also working perfectly fine. Now we can easily back up the Docker volumes using Duplicati. Additionally, it allows us to store all the important files and folders. You can even schedule it as per your need. Also, with the incremental backup process, you can save storage space. So, if you have already given this a try, let me know in the comment section below. I would love to hear how it's working for you, or any cool tips you have discovered. And if you haven't yet, then go ahead and give it a try. Because you should always have a backup, as something unexpected can happen at any moment.